Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our justNoMIL. In today's episode, Mael just made my husband cry. Made the mistake of telling my mom my daughter's name. Engagement sadness. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Mael just made my husband cry. I'm just so stunned and sad right now after speaking to my husband. We have been in a really terrible space since Christmas. We had taken the vaccine booster for COVID and were both feeling sick on Christmas Day, but he was worse. He rallied to go see his family because he didn't want to disappoint his mother. We told everyone that he was still sick and they were all fine with it, as we all thought it was a reaction to the vaccine, and everything online said that wasn't enough to be contagious. Turns out he actually has COVID. He ended up giving it to his dad, brother-in-law and sister. Since then they have blamed him and made him feel awful, especially his sister. His dad has been in the hospital since December, but not just for COVID. He had an untreated wound that required 5 weeks of antibiotics, and so they kept him there. Yesterday we got a bill with their dad's name attached to it sent to our address. I was so pissed off and knew it was his classless sister. He asked his family how the hospital got our address when we don't even live in the same city. No one owned up to it. Today he spoke to his mom and said he thought it was his one sister who didn't respond. Instead of supporting him and trying to figure this out, she yelled at him, blamed him for giving their dad COVID and changing how their lives have changed. He loves his mom, always gives her money and takes her to lunch all the time. But now, she's choosing to blame him because he didn't willingly just pay their bills. She comes across as sweet and innocent old lady. But she manipulated him into having a big wedding, putting us in debt. She doesn't care about him except for his money. We are the most well-off among the siblings, and I had to put a stop to the unlimited gifts to her because we had to invest in our future. I hate this classless family, but today, it just cemented how manipulative and selfish this woman is. Have DH calculate all the money he's spent on MIL and divide it between the siblings and send them a bill for their share of taking care of their mother. Ha, I like this level of petty. Return to sender with any future bills. Don't bring it up again. Finding out who sent it really won't change anything. It was a petty move, but knowing who did it when other people are taking their side, kinda is pointless. Assume they all sent it, they are acting like it. It might take some time, but there will be an opportunity to help them understand. If either of you ever get as much as a sniffle, you refuse to see them for 10 days following. No exceptions. MIL's birthday? Sorry I sneezed last Tuesday, and we learned our lessons last time, didn't we? We'll put a card in the mail. He would have gotten yelled at if he didn't go visit on Christmas, I bet. You can't win with people like this. I'm sorry you and your husband are going through this. Money brings out the worst in people. I think the root of this situation is the fact that your DH didn't want to disappoint his mother. He needs to face and address that. Are there other examples of situations where he gave in and did things so he wouldn't have to deal with his mother being upset? To be clear, I don't mean face the fact DH apparently gave family members COVID. What I mean is that he was sick, so common sense would have dictated he just stay home from family gatherings, work, church, etc. Instead, he went to the holiday gathering just to please his mom. Made the mistake of telling my mom my daughter's name. Some background: my mom and I do not have a close relationship. When I say not close, I mean I have lived across the country and we never call each other to see how one another is doing. I have moved closer to home, and I am now pregnant. The only person who knows is my mom, and of course, H. I told mom, thinking this could be a way for us to bond and not be so estranged. Now fast forward. H and I did NIPT to find out the gender of our baby. It's a girl. We had the name Octavia picked out for a very long time, so that is what we are going to name her. I told my mom that we are having a girl and that her name is going to be Octavia. She started to give other name ideas, asked if my H likes the name too, and just made an ordeal out of her name. I ate lunch with her yesterday. She told me she doesn't like Octavia as a name because she thinks of an octopus because of the oct prefix meaning 8. She went on further to say that kids at school are probably going to call her Octopus because of her name. I honestly don't think of an octopus, and I also don't think little kids will correlate Octavia with octopus. She went even further and told me she is going to make an octopus quilt as her baby blanket. If she does this, the quilt will be donated immediately. Also, she will be gifting her a stuffed octopus every year for her birthday. Mom even said she is going to call our daughter by her middle name, Anne. I told H, Mom said that, and he was not happy because Anne is not her name. H proposed that if she doesn't like the name, she could use Tavi or Tavia as a nickname. I thought it was cute and relayed the message to Mom via text. Her response, why don't you just name her Tavi then? I didn't even respond to the text. I just cried, maybe because of hormones, but also bullying an unborn baby because you don't like the name. I am really close to not even letting my mom see our baby once she is born. I honestly don't even know what to say or how to handle this situation further. Also, this is the reason I don't talk to her, because she always has something negative to say. Thank you in advance for any advice. Update: I plan on telling the rest of my family about the pregnancy on Sunday. I am also going to pull my mom to the side and set some clear boundaries regarding this issue. Tell your mother to stop bullying your baby, or she doesn't get to see her. Octavia is a beautiful name. It will be mispronounced most likely in kinder and first as children are learning their letters. She might get called V by her classmates as that is the hard consonant in her name, which is fine. Please look at first, middle and last initial to make sure it doesn't spell something odd, and kids used to switch the first letter of the first and last name. When I, 69F, was in 4-5th grade, and that made for interesting names. Again, your daughter's name is beautiful and keep that boundary with your mom. My advice on this, tell her that you don't approve her being so negative about the name you chose for your baby, and you don't want her to tell the name to anybody as this would be a breach of trust for you. Make it clear that this will be the only warning you're giving her, and that if she violates your boundaries there will be consequences. I think of the author Octavia Butler, she is a queen. Time to establish clear boundaries. Mom, I'm going to say this once, and I strongly suggest you listen, as this will be your one and final warning. You will call my daughter by her actual name, or you will not have the opportunity to call her anything at all, as you will never be in the same room with her. Your completely juvenile attempts to bully a child for her name with octopus objects will never, ever reach her. For a woman of your age to behave so immaturely out of pure spite is abhorrent. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you have any prayer of being able to ever lay eyes on my child, I suggest you start by growing up and showing respect for her parents. I've been unequivocally clear. Opie, you are the mother and don't have to compromise on anything with someone other than her father. You are the parents, and you make the decisions, full stop. She respects that or she's cut off, bottom line. Engagement sadness. About 8 months ago my partner's parents separated in a nasty divorce as a result of father's affair. I have been very supportive to my FMIL, but she constantly guilt trips us that nobody cares about her. We don't spend enough time with her. Even before the divorce, I swear this woman is incapable of happiness. Nevertheless, I've persisted despite her rudeness. My sweetheart boyfriend proposed to me on Valentine's Day. We texted a photo of the ring to our immediate family. Both our parents are separated and all the other parents and step-parents were really happy and called us the next day. That night, however, my justNoMIL called my fiancé, abused him and said we had disrespected and blindsided her. She was very upset we didn't call her immediately. She immediately blocked us both on all social media and phone call. Today she put a congratulations in our group chat. My partner called me in tears saying they had a huge fight. When I got home from work, I called her. It did not go well, to say the least. She kept saying how disrespectful I wasn't raised right, I've never supported her and haven't been there for her through her hardship. I tried to explain it was a moment just for us and it wasn't about her, and honestly, I lost my temper a little. The call ended with her saying, "I'm glad you have your perfect little life with my son because you don't let anyone else see him and have ruined our relationship." I told her to get therapy and F***ck off and hung up. I feel sad because I dislike conflict and she's just ruined a really important day for both of us. Write down how you feel right now. If future you ever thinks we're being mean, we should see her/take the kids, read it back and remember that you don't have to put your feelings below anyone else's. Thank you, this is sage advice. I've been slack on my journaling but going to get stuck in tomorrow. Oh boy, does this bring back memories? Much the same thing happened to me with my mother. I was 23, she had guilt-tripped me into living at home even after I graduated college to save money. I proposed to my then GF, we went out to dinner, and when I got back, I excitedly went to tell them the news. My mother responded with disappointment that I hadn't talked to her first. A big fight then ensued, and I left feeling really deflated about the whole thing. Even though I got past it, over 30 years later, it still stands out as one of the worst experiences of my life and cemented in my mind what a nasty, controlling narcissist my mother really was. I totally get you being sad about this, but I hope you can get past it as well and enjoy the engagement period. Be on the lookout for future sabotage attempts, of course. But good on you for telling her off. And you probably would do best to avoid her and let your fiancé deal with her, if you deal with her at all. Remember that neither of you is responsible for her happiness. At all. A parent is supposed to be happy their children are doing well, not jealous. She clearly has issues, and if she doesn't want to deal with them, that's 100% on her. At least she's shown you her true colors now. If you involve her in the wedding, you'll face this kind of drama every day up to and including your wedding day. It certainly sounds like you need to go LC/NC for your sanity. Congratulations on your engagement, OP. From a complete internet stranger, I hope you have a long and happy marriage together and I wish you all the best. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.